Hi guys, I hope you're all well. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm actually hanging out the Roper Mountain Science Center today on some of the paths. Lilithia is around here somewhere. Apparently you're technically not supposed to have pets here, but I didn't see that until I was already in here with her. But, you know, they're not open yet for the day, so I think I'll just head out soon. As you can hear, I'm in the city. I'm in Greenville, and this has been a very interesting time. But enough about me. I would like to talk about you. So something I've noticed on my travels of late has been that people have been asking me a lot how to become more spiritually connected, because what I've also noticed, especially as I drove all the way from Oregon to South Carolina, all the way across the nation, it was not as easy for me to do my self-care stuff, of course, you know. I sleep for an hour or two in the car and get up and drive, and then I sleep for an hour or two and get up and drive. And so that meant that I couldn't do all of my normal routine-y kind of stuff. And what I realized was, you know, I've been building up the kinds of routines that foster my spiritual connection for the past 13 years or so. So at this point, it might seem or look easy or effortless for me to remain spiritually connected, because that's what I do. That's, I think, one of my main reasons for even being born at this time on this planet, in this society. But it's not necessarily easy at all. However, because I've made these things a part of my life, I see that, okay, it is easier than if I were just constantly trying to go against the grain. So I'd like to share with you guys 5 ways to become more spiritually connected. And this is not about a religion. It's not about any particular ideology at all. It's just about being able to be silent and hear the voice of spirit within, so that then you can take whatever steps it is yours to take. Sometimes people ask me to get more involved in I don't know, political things or current events, and my answer is always, I don't want to tell you anything to do, because the second I tell you an actual thing to do, that's the moment that someone's going to be watching my video who should authentically, in order to fulfill their divine path, do the opposite thing, and I will have told them wrong. So that's why in what I do, I don't really tell you exactly what to do. I tell you how to follow your heart. So I wonder where my kitty is. Anyway, I hope she shows up and says hi to you guys. If not, I'll have to go panther hunting after this video is over. Okay, so 5 ways to become more spiritually connected. First, of course, get outside. Get outside, get outside, get outside. If you live in the big city, this is actually the first time I've been on the ground in many days in Greenville, because I've been searching and searching for places to go, and I've had to run around doing various things that are also reasons why I came here to do. I haven't had much time. But bring up a map on your whatever device you use and just look for the green, or go to parks, or go to the edge of where developments are. Find a way to be in nature. Just look at the nature around you. We're used to seeing, those of us who are inside, who are kennel trained humans, which I am, I'm inside much of the time. We're used to looking at walls and squares and things that are not natural. I mean, look at this leaf. This is not perfectly straight line anything. Even the color is modeled. But that's how the world actually is. When we try to put everything in boxes, it doesn't work. It's not what we're actually here to do. So get outside. That's the first thing. The second thing is be lucid and deliberate about what you eat. I'm not going to jump up on some soapbox here and tell you guys what you should or shouldn't be eating. I know that there are things that my body loves to do, which your body may or may not like to do, but I can tell you a couple things. The first one is, if you're eating factory farmed meat, all you got to do is drive by a factory farmed feedlot. There's one on Internet 5 in California. Whoa, my hand is glowing with light. That's the sun, but we're just gonna say it's the energy, huh? I guess it's both. All you have to do is drive by one of those, I call them concentration camps, because they smell for miles around. Even if you turn off your airflow in your car and roll up your windows, they still permeate your car. Ooh, here's Lily, you guys. She has arrived. Hi, baby. How you doing? Okay, anyways. And even if you are a meat eater, back when I was a meat eater, I would drive by those, and it was very easy for me to see, oh, this is not food. It shouldn't go in your body, even if you're just saying, okay, well, I want to eat animals that are healthy and not terrified when they die, so that stuff doesn't go into my bloodstream, into my body. Okay, and the other thing that I can say is that regardless of what your beliefs are about what the human body needs, And regardless of whether or not you choose to go vegetarian or vegan or whatever it is for you, what I can say is that, all right, do what you want. What I can say is that when people stop eating so much meat, when they stop eating meat that is not balanced, like when they stop eating anything but, say, grass-fed beef or organic, hormone-free, pasture-raised chicken or whatever, their consciousness goes up. It's just easier to evolve. I can say why or not why or whatever, but those are all just my opinions. But this is stuff I've seen. When you stop eating most meat, if not completely, it is just easier to be spiritually connected. And I have all kinds of theories on why that might be. But all I know is, I'm not telling you to go vegetarian, like I said, but maybe cut back. Make it a small part of what you do. Maybe only once a day, and then maybe go with only every other day that you eat animal flesh, you know. My policy is the only things with hearts I eat are artichoke and palm. I don't eat anything with a beating heart. That's my rule. But anyways, okay, so get outside, eat consciously, deliberately. The third one is spend some time doing nothing every day, because that's one thing that I've really noticed about this world that I've been in, this, 9 to 5 mega store world. And I will just throw in one little soapbox thing that I do have, which is, okay, look at the world that, at least the world that I was raised in, which is you go to school from the time you're 4 or 5 or sometimes younger to the time you're 18. Then you go to college, and usually you get loans for college. And then you get out of college and you work so you can pay back your loans. And then as soon as you're done paying back your loans, you save up for a house. And then as soon as you're done paying off your house, you're saving up for retirement. And then you retire and then you die. That sounds like slavery to me. That you have to give your life force every day, 5 days a week, for basically your entire life in order just to survive. That doesn't make sense to me. And I also will say that as I've been in this world, it's harder for me to thrive too. And back when I was in this world, before I got out of the matrix, I would be driving to work. I had a cushy, awesome office job. And I would be driving to work every day and freaking out, having a spiritual just breakdown, crying and trembling and knowing that this wasn't right for me, but knowing that I had no other option, because in that world there was no one who did say what I did and was able to pay the bills and live from the heart. And it did take me years to figure out how to do that, but here I am several years later and it does work. But you're unique. So anyway, that said, all those things said, you need to take time every day to not do anything. It's really hard not to do that. You will have stuff come and fill up your schedule. So put it on your schedule, nothing time. Don't do anything time, okay? And that will help you listen to yourself. Even if you're not a meditator, go for a walk and just allow yourself to absorb what's going on around you, or just lay down and don't think about anything. Just let yourself drift, let yourself wonder. Maybe do some creative stuff, doodle or draw or color, or do those Zentangle things or whatever it is that works out for you. But it's really important to give yourself time to hear yourself. So we've got getting outside, we've got being deliberate about your eating, we've got taking quiet time every day. The fourth one is being conscious about the words that you speak. And this is something that is really avant-garde in some circles, I've noticed in my travels. Sometimes people are very adamant, and this might be you too, you might be very adamant about, well, sometimes I say something and it doesn't mean anything. And that might be true, but if that's the case, and if you believe that this is a world you create, and the word is the thought spoken, and the word creates as the thought creates, then why would you say anything you don't mean? I've heard it said that sarcasm is the lowest form of humor. And I don't think that's necessarily always true. I think it depends on the sarcasm. It depends on what's being sarcastic about. But I can tell you this. Times in my life when I've been in social circles where people nitpick at each other, especially because I can't judge them doing that. Like a lot of people, it makes you feel loved. It's like, okay, well, if we can pick each other, then we know we really love each other and it's cool. That's fine, I'm not judging that. But I can say that from my perspective, when I flip my brain to try to fit into a space where I'm looking at things to nitpick, even just jokes to nitpick on each other, because it's always important for me to tell the truth. So I don't lie about stuff. I'll just kind of tune my mind to see how to participate. I don't like how it feels in here. I don't like to critically look at people and say, what are you doing wrong? What are you doing wrong? So I can pick at it, so I can fit in, so we can have these family vibes, so we can just buzz each other and not have a problem. So I don't know if this is true for you or not. You're going to have to sit and think yourself. I know many people say, oh, it doesn't matter what you say. And that's your choice. But these are 5 ways to become more spiritually aware. And the 4th way is definitely to be conscious about the words that you speak. The 5th way, let's see. I might not remember what this is. Well, I don't remember what my original one was, but I'm just going to say that number 5 will be, well, it's a 2-parter. The first one is want to become more spiritually aware. Think about what that means for you. Spend time thinking about it every day. Remember, your mind is formed by the thoughts you choose. Your neurons get stronger. Their connections get stronger when you run energy through them, thoughts through them more often. So be conscious about what you're thinking and want to become more spiritually aware. And the second part of this one is surround yourself with media, entertainment that inspires you and connects you. There are so many authors out there. There are so many movies out there, documentaries and books that can enhance you and connect you spiritually and teach you ways to be more connected spiritually. So one of my favorite things to do in the world is just go to a bookstore, or better yet, a huge library, and just let myself get lost and let myself get drawn around to whatever it is that calls me. And if you go to a library that uses the Dewey Decimal System, if you look in the 100s, that's where all the spiritual stuff is. So check it out. So again, we've got get outside, even if it's just a little while, and let yourself look around and see what it is. 2, be conscious of what you're eating. And let me tell you guys something. If it's not organic, if you're eating fruits and veggies and it's not organic, do organic. You'll have to eat less. You won't be as hungry. The food will taste better. You know, I've been visiting, and sometimes, just today, someone handed me a piece of apple, and I was like, oh yeah, thanks. And I bit into it, and I was like, it wasn't organic and it didn't taste as good. It's easy. Yesterday I was out for brunch with my mom and I got a mimosa. I'm not usually an alcohol drinker, but I mean, every now and then I'll have some wine, usually once, twice a month or something, but yesterday was one of those days. And there was a strawberry sitting on the side of my glass, a beautiful plump red strawberry, not organic of course, because I was at just like a regular restaurant. And I bit into it, and again, I was like, it tastes like I remember strawberries tasting when I was little, when nothing around me was organic in the small town I lived in. And as an adult, I've learned how to get organic, locally grown fruits and vegetables, and they're so much better, and there's so much more nutrition in them. Some people say that I've heard it said that some farms are organic, but they don't necessarily have the organic label because it's expensive to get. That might be true. And so one way that you can check that is, say you have an apple at the supermarket and say you're wondering which one to get. And say you see one that's not organic, but it calls out to you. Smell it. The idea is to smell it. And if you can smell the fragrance of the apple, then that means, I have been told, that your body can process the nutrients because you can smell it. So that means you'll be able to absorb the nutrients. So that's a way to do it. Also, if you're looking for a ripe avocado, this is something I just learned from a soul sister of mine who's a fruit and veggies queen, is you find the avocado that's a little soft, and then the top where the stem is, that little like button you can take off, if you take it off and it's green inside there, then it's a perfect avocado. If it's brown inside there, then it's going to have brown stripes through it, so you don't want it. So there are your 5. Get outside. Eat deliberately. Be conscious of your word. Spend time alone, letting your mind just be. Let yourself actually get your own inspirations. And finally, choose to become spiritually aware and choose media and entertainment that enlightens you and that makes you feel hopeful and that makes you feel happy and that reminds you that this is a beautiful world, you guys. It really is. Especially if you're stuck in the cities, sometimes it can get easy to get in the rounds of what's going on in the cities. That's it. I remember, this is a very, very important one. And this is also about decalcifying your pineal gland. This is the one I forgot. And this is the thing I was going to make the whole video about. So I'm so glad I remembered. It's to, and this might seem like a little thing, but I promise you it's not. I have experienced lately. Shift the cleaning chemicals in your home to all natural or, non-toxic cleaning formulas. just if you want to get super simple, you can use vinegar and baking soda for just about everything. Is baking soda, you can let it sit for a while and then scrub it off the way you would like Ajax or another powder cleanser. But you can also buy at various stores tons of natural cleaners, non-toxic, eco-friendly cleaners. And this is something interesting because I've been hanging out in really beautifully designed spaces, lovely architecture, very nice look to it. But it feels to me like there's this thin layer of poison on everything. And I didn't really realize why, but I would stay in and after I was inside, I would just feel weird and toxic and yucky. And then I had someone email me, and thank you for this email, by the way, about how she and her partner had been spiritually awakening together, and they had done things slowly, like cut meat out, and then they had shifted all of the stuff in their house to non-toxic based, and saying how that was helping them become more spiritually aware. Because if you're using spray window cleaner that has all these poisons in it, and then you're breathing it in, if you're scrubbing your counter down with this stuff and it's absorbing through your hands, if you're cleaning your floor with stuff that has all these things in it that will kill that will kill bacteria and stuff, it's also not good for you. And you're absorbing it through your body, you're absorbing it through your nose, through your hands, through your feet, and it's putting this sheath of basically minerals and gunk around your pineal gland and basically in your whole glandular system. Also, it's messing with your hormones, it's messing with your body's detoxification system, it's messing with your body's endocrine system. So if you just turn over all the cleaning products in your house, it's interesting because you can be in the most beautifully spotlessly clean house and it feels toxic once you're sensitive to it. I've just become aware of this because I'd been in a world for the past few years where places I lived, they had used all natural cleaning supplies. And so going back into a world where these places have just been cleaned with toxic cleaning supplies, it's a very subtle shift, but it's definitely there. You have to kind of tune in to feel it, but it's definitely there. And so if you want to become more spiritually aware, it's an easy fix. You can just go get the stuff and throw out your old stuff and start using the new cleaning supplies. And that will actually deliberately help. I know it sounds like a small thing, but it really isn't. So anyways, sending you guys love from Greenville. I'm eventually going to go over and check out Asheville. I hear that's a very nice place, and I think it's a more, it will probably be easier reality for me to be in. But I would just like to say, I know that while you guys are tuning into my videos and stuff, it seems this is who I give to a screen, right? Like, this is working for me. And it's really important for me that I bring my true, authentic, vulnerable self to my work, but also be aware that this is work. You guys don't see me when I've had my heart broken and I'm on the floor crying. You guys don't see me when I'm totally in bitch mode and have lost my temper. All of these things happen to me. And especially when I come into the environment that represents the matrix that I woke up out of, which was academia and the medical world and the psychological world. When I come back into those and let myself be in those boxes again, as I'm doing now in my travels, sure enough, I start to feel that same feeling of wanting to strain against the bars like I did before. So it's important for me too that I keep up these practices. If I were to stop doing all the things, if I were to stop eating the superfoods, if I were to stop taking care of my body and stop connecting with nature and connecting within and doing my energy work and all the things that make me who I am, if I were to stop doing that, it would be really difficult for me too, to even just exist. So it's not like it's just something that it happens to be easy. For me, actually, it's kind of the opposite. Things can get so excruciating for me if I don't take really good care of exactly what I'm doing in my world that I have to. And I think that it's supposed to be that way because then I think that means that I figure out the codes to give to you guys, because I feel like what I actually do here is, you know, in video games when you can hit various buttons and it's like a cheat code and you can jump levels or get into a secret level or something. I feel like that's kind of one of my superpowers, is I can kind of just bring in the cheat codes and give them to you guys, and that's what I'm here to do. But I have to embody them in order to do it. So that's what I'm figuring out for you. And I'm still at the beginning of my career too. I'm still figuring it out as I go. All right, so thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful. And I am starting up a 7 chakras in 7 days class. It begins on February 11th and goes to the 17th. So those of you guys who are into it, you can check it out. I'm doing it super cheap. It's on sale right now for $7.77. And it's on my website, which is karismolina.com, if you're interested. Let's see what else. I'm traveling. I will be moving around this beautiful nation for a while longer. I'm waiting for my next home base to show up. I'm patient because I know when you want something intense, if you wait longer, you get something better. So I'm just doing the whole nomadic thing until the right thing shows up. And hopefully I will see and connect with more of you guys on the road before then. Sending you lots of love from South Carolina, from this beautiful space. I'll let you take a look at these trees. Speaking of nature, just let yourself sink into those and get lost in this beauty. All right, enjoy your week. May you have so many blessings and so much love surrounding you and inspiring you and enlivening you and nurturing you. Sending you my biggest heart pulse. And have a beautiful day. And I will see you again very soon.